Well, we're very excited to be here. Ironically, we were here the last time in the Sweet 16, I believe, that was held here at the Honda Center. Played a very memorable game against Duke and lost a heartbreaker to UConn in the Elite Eight. And San Diego State was also here. That first night when we played Duke, they played UConn. So it's kind of ironic that we find ourselves back, both of us. I think it says a lot about both of our programs, and we have great respect for San Diego State and look forward to playing them tomorrow.
You did a lot of things to them in that game in November that they haven't had other people do to them, and they really didn't do the things that they do well since then. I was wondering the difference that you see in those 4 months.
Well, we played so long ago, it was early November. Very seldom is a game that pivotal between two teams played that early in the season. And when I watch that game, I see almost our team at a completely different place. We no longer have Brandon Ashley. Brandon was a starter in that game. And a lot of our other players have developed since then. And I believe the same thing with their team. They were playing more players at that point. Dwayne Poley has really emerged for them. We know that. But they've gotten better as the year has gone on, like all teams do that are here in the Sweet 16.
Coach, the other night, Sunday night after you beat Gonzaga, you were talking about San Diego State. You used the word fearless to describe them. I wonder what you meant by that.
Well, I think they're a confident program, not a team, but a confident program. I've been in their shoes as the head coach at Xavier, and you have a lot of guys on your team that have been overlooked or they're in their next stop having transferred. And a lot of times they have a healthy chip on their shoulder. I mean that in a positive way. They're out to prove that they're better than the outside world has given them credit. And I think just their program in general, I think they have a chip on their shoulder that when you play them, it is a very competitive, hard-fought game. They're a great defensive team. They're a great rebounding team. They're organized on offense, but they have a number of players that have a toughness about them. And to beat them, you have to have that on your end. And that's a real credit to Coach Fisher. I know I mentioned this a couple days ago, what he and his staff have done here over the last decade. You really have to do a double take when you think about the success that they've had, and we respect them a great deal. We know that tomorrow's game for us will be as hard-fought of a game as we've played. And I also know this, and our team knows this, for us to advance, we're going to have to play really well.
We have about 90 seconds left. We're going to go into the striped shirt right here.
Coach Michael Lev with the Orange County Register. You just kind of touched on it a little bit, the job that Coach Fisher has done at San Diego State. Before he got there, they had 13 losing seasons out of 14 years, and now they're regularly winning 20-plus games and going to the tournament. What do you think about how he's been able to turn this program from nothing into something?
Well, Steve Fisher, if you just follow his career, it's not for me to voice, I'm not the expert on it, but I do think that a lot of college coaches believe this about him. He didn't get nearly enough credit for the unbelievable job that he did at Michigan. If you just think about what he did there as the head coach, it's amazing. And then for him to come out here to the West and just kind of watch him build his program. And the other thing that you really respect about San Diego State, and we have it in common in our program, is their crowd, their following. When we played them in November, that was as good of a college basketball crowd as we've played in front of all year. And, we've played in some great arenas. So, not only do they have a great product on the court, but you can tell their program has just a rabid, passionate following. And that's the other thing about tomorrow night. It's going to be a great atmosphere. We were both here together a few years ago, but we didn't play each other. But I remember thinking if we did, what it would be like. And here we are 3 years later. I think it's going to be a lot of red. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of people in the building that care a lot about their programs.